Hey there everybody, allXefflette, and I'm here to bring you this week's KDF Marathon Strength Training Program. This week we're in week 6, so we're going to have some new exercises, we're going to have some increased volume, so if you need to pause, I actually separated out workout 1 and workout 2 so that they're a little bit blown up and you can just pause right there. And as always guys, if you have any questions, please email me. I provide my email below, or just comment and I'll get back to you as quick as I can. And first up we have our lunges. Now there's nothing special about these, so just weight them as much as you need to make 10 reps difficult. Keep the knee just barely over the big toe and don't let it dive in or out. Keep the chest upright just like I do there. Notice I'm not leaning forward. And then we're on to our broad jumps. Now I'm pushing off my toes as hard as I can, landing as soft as possible. If I had the volume up, you should barely be able to hear my feet hit the ground. Now notice my knees aren't diving in when I jump or when I land, and that's really important. Then the last thing that I really want to focus on is keeping my chest as upright as possible. Third up we have our hip thrust. Now I'm kind of showing you how I'm setting up here. That bench is right below my shoulder blades. You can use a chair or a couch at home if that's what you have available. Notice I put that dumbbell, if you're going to use it, across my hips and I'm holding it with my hands. I'm tucking my chin, my knee should be at 90 degrees, and I'm pushing down through my heels so that I can actually just squeeze my butt. I don't want to feel this too much in my low back. I should really just feel it maybe in the back of my thighs and in my glutes. Alright, and on to our first upper body exercise, we have the half kneeling pull down. So, that knee that's down, I'm pulling down with that same arm, I'm driving the elbow down, and I'm getting a little bit of a side bend there, so my shoulder's going to kind of tip towards the ground. You should be squeezing your lat, which is on the side of your body, and driving the shoulder blade down into your back pocket. What I wouldn't want to see is bringing that elbow way back behind your body so your shoulder tips forward. And then onto our pressing exercise, we just have a regular push-up. Now I did put slow push-up. It's really just controlling the motion down as best as you can and then pressing up under control. It's not really explosive on the way up. And as always, go to your knees or use a bench, elevate your body if you need to. Adjust to what you can do. Don't just do what you're seeing on the screen here. Alright, onto our core, we have our side plank with the reach through. So it's just your traditional or a modified side plank. And all you're going to do is extend that arm up to the ceiling, reach all the way through and underneath the body, make sure that your head follows your hand the whole time, and then back to the start point. And that's it. It's nothing real fancy. It's just a variation of our side plank. And again, if you need to move to the knees because you can't hold that side plank position with the hips up, just move to it. There's nothing wrong with it. These are really tough to do anyways. And then rounding out our workout is our split stance pow-off press. So all we're going to do is get our band or cable. We're going to take a step forward with that inside foot and then have minimal weight through the back foot. Press out like we have with our pow-off presses. Hold it for a second and then bring it back in. Notice my shoulders aren't rotating, my hips aren't rotating, and I'm just coming right back to my chest every time. Alright all, we're starting workout 2 with our goblet squat. Just our classic squat. We're using a dumbbell to weight the exercise, and we're using whatever dumbbell is going to make 12 to 15 reps pretty tough. Now notice that I'm pushing my knees slightly out, my toes are pointed slightly out, and your stance should be comfortable. Doesn't need to be real wide or narrow, whatever you prefer. Notice I'm unlocking from the knees first, sitting my butt straight down, and I'm keeping my chest up. And next up we have a stop and go. Now this is an exercise where we're really focused on landing that 4th step. So all we're doing is we're taking 4 steps. It's sort of like a run, and you should land as soft as possible on that last step. Your knee should barely dive in and out. You should be able to keep your chest up. None of these should be really loud steps. Lastly, notice that I am actually pushing back hard off that front foot when I'm going backwards. And then rounding out our lower body exercises, we have our stationary monster walk. Now notice I'm stepping to the side, my band's just below my knees, and I'm pushing my knees out. I am shifting my weight onto that leg that's moving as well. Something pretty common that I see that's an error is people just reaching with their foot but keeping their knee in place. Really make sure that you're shifting your weight onto that leg so you're pushing your knee out. Next up we have our upper body, our classic dumbbell row. We're just going to pull that elbow back to our side. Notice I'm supporting myself with my opposite arm. I'm squeezing my shoulder blade back towards my spine as I pull my elbow up. And I'm not really thinking about pulling with my hand. That's going to cause you to pull that dumbbell towards your shoulder, which you don't want to do. And then we have our dumbbell bench press. I did include my setup so you could see that if you have trouble getting the dumbbells up and then laying back, use your knees to push them up towards your chest. Now once you have them up in the air, you're going to let those elbows drop towards your side. Notice that the hands come kind of towards the middle of the chest and then press straight back up over the shoulder. What you don't want to do is flare the elbows out. It just causes easily avoidable shoulder issues. And notice here I'm going to bring my knees up, bring the dumbbells to my knees to bring them down. Alright, last two exercises. We're going to do flutter kicks first. Lay on your back with a slight arch in it. You're going to have the legs extended as best as you can and just flutter up and down nice and slow. Notice I'm not going really fast. If you need to make them a little easier, just bend your knees slightly. You're going to accomplish the same thing. Make sure you're not letting your back arch more. You're trying to squeeze that stomach to really contract there. And then last up we have a band chop. So all you're going to do is anchor something, a band or a cable, really high. You're going to keep the elbows moderately straight and just turn the shoulders. The hips should turn a little bit as you get to that very end range, but control it coming back up, just like I am there. Alright everybody, again, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please comment below, send me an email. I'm more than happy to help with any question that you might have. And just keep working hard. All this hard work is going to pay off when it comes marathon time. Thanks guys. Hope to see you week 7.